And let's start off with Tanguy Ndombele. There's been an article this morning. Who was the article from?
It was from Dan Kilpatrick.
From Dan Kilpatrick, exactly. And he is kind of stating that Ndombele has held talks with Nuno and Fabio Paratici now, and he is willing to knuckle down, fight for his spot, and get on that pitch and play some football for Tottenham Hotspur. But this was said last summer, but to be fair to him, last summer he did do it. But why are we going through this every single year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit frustrating where, like headline news, Ndombele wants to work hard. It's like,
he finally wants to work for his 200 grand a week.
He's paid 200 grand a week. He finally, yeah, exactly, he wants to break a sweat now. But look, as much as we want to clown on it and be frustrated by the situation, it's a positive. It can only be positive step in the direction. Hopefully, Ndombele can reintegrate back into the team, because a good Ndombele is definitely one we need in this side. And even if it is with a view of him moving on next summer, I want to make sure that he's in the best position to get any offer that he wants, or the best position for Spurs to get as much money as possible. Because, you know, this summer we were prepared to take a cut price fee, and we very nearly took a loss on him. So if he the only thing that really stopped us taking a loss on him is no one really came in for him. That's the truth. So if he wants that move, it's best for everyone. It's best for him. It's best for Tottenham. If he really knuckles down, gets back into that starting 11, and we see the best Ndombele. And I think that from that aspect, it's positive that he's now had those conversations with Nuno and Paratici, and hopefully. Maybe we might even see him this weekend. If we'll have to wait and see on that one. It depends if Nuno thinks he's ready to play. But I really believe that with a good Ndombele, that improves our chances of achieving things this season.
Of course it does. Of course it does. Just the sheer quality of the man on the football pitch is second to none. We've all said, you know, we've said it time and time again. How many more times can we say it, that this guy's got best technical ability, one of the best technical ability in the world, bar none. And it's just his kind of attitude and mentality that he can't marry up with his ability. And either way, if he leaves at the end of this season, I'll just be so bitter about it. Because if he's done well and he goes on to have a great career, I'll be bitter that great career is not happening at Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
And if he does bad and leaves and doesn't have a great career, I'll be bitter about how good he could have been.
And that would have been most frustrating thing. But I really believe him in the 4-3-3 with next to Skip and Højbjerg providing that balance could really benefit him massively, and he could really fit in nicely into this team. I really believe that. I think he could do Dele's role with a bit of extra as well, with a bit more quality, because you know what Dele's struggling at the moment, it being in that centre, is as we say constantly, he just dallies on the ball too long. He doesn't make up his mind. He's very easy to take the ball off him and stuff like that.
And a lack of creativity as well.
That's the thing. But he doesn't Dele shouldn't have a lack of creativity. He's a creative player, but I think in those deeper positions, he's finding it hard to maybe get on the ball in the positions he likes to be in. And I think Ndombele is more at home in that central area when there's bodies around him and he's in tight spaces and things like that. I think that's more Ndombele's game. So I think Ndombele could definitely slot into that role and thrive. Could he do the role that Dele's doing off the ball in terms of being super aggressive and winning all those challenges? I reckon Dele's doing such a good job in that at the moment. It'll be hard for Ndombele to be as good as Dele in that aspect, but I think there's give and take, and I think maybe Ndombele could still be good off the ball, maybe not as good as Dele, but I think he could be a lot better than Dele on the ball right now.
Yeah, of course he can. Of course he can. And if like Ndombele's are in a three-man midfield with a Højbjerg and a Skip, and they're like running like madmen around him, doing all the dirty work, and Ndombele's left, obviously he's going to have to do some of the work as well. But if his like primary role is to get the ball down, dictate play, you know, a deep lying playmaker, basically get those through balls in, spray the ball, be our creative hub in that middle three of Højbjerg, Skip and Ndombele, I think it can work like a charm. I really do.
Yeah, and especially with his dribbling ability, opening up spaces and stuff like that in a 4-3-3. We didn't see him in a 4-3-3 too many times under Jose. Really, we kind of saw him in a 4-2-3-1, either in the hole in the 10 or in the double pivot. One of those two things. We very rarely played a 4-3-3 under Jose Mourinho, so I'm definitely excited by that prospect if Ndombele's knuckling down, and hopefully after these positive talks, I think there's definitely more of a chance we see him on the weekend. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know about from the start, but definitely coming on. And I think if he does come on, and that is what Ndombele, the article said, he hopes to make his first appearance of the season next week. I'm guessing they're referring to the game against Rennes, but maybe they're talking about on the weekend.
They just unleash him against Chelsea, starting role against Chelsea.
Well, look, if he comes on and makes an impact against Palace and then plays well against Rennes, he could definitely get a starting spot against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Why not? And he's those kind of players who, for me, if we're going to overachieve this season, it's going to be on because players like Ndombele, like Lo Celso, reach a level that we haven't yet seen at Tottenham, and they unlock a new level to their game, which we know they're capable of. And that's the only way I see us achieving more than maybe what's expected of us this season. If they can do more than what we've seen so far, and I think we know Ndombele is more than capable of doing that. We know he is.
Of course he is.
So it's good news for me. I get why people look at this article and get frustrated by it. Oh, he's on 200 grand a week. He shouldn't have to be told to work hard. And all this is all very true. But at the end of the day, you got to just take it as a positive that he is now willing to fight for his place. And why that was true, not true before, we don't really know the full reasons why. But now he is. And that's just, for me, that's a positive. Look, at
the end of the day, in terms of how our season is shaping up and how our season is looking, of course it's a positive. It's just very frustrating with the whole backstory to it all and everything like that, and what happened last summer and all that kind of stuff. And, it just seems as though we're constantly trying to persuade Tanguy Ndombele to get on side and to work hard and all that kind of stuff. And for our star player and kind of our most expensive signing ever, he's on the top wages as well. It's just frustrating. It just really is. A player like that shouldn't have to be told. No player at the end of the day, no Premier League player should have to be told and should have to be kind of convinced to work hard. Let's be honest.
Yep, I completely agree. That's obviously the case should be when you sign a player for record fee and big wages, make him your matched highest paid earner. They shouldn't have to be told to work hard. But at the end of the day, this is how football works sometimes. You have to manage these players. You have to manage these personalities. And each player is different. And someone like Harry Kane, you're never going to have an issue about telling him to work hard. You're not going to have to tell him to work hard. He does it all himself. But that's why players like Harry Kane are so well respected and so highly thought of, because of that kind of mentality he has. And people, I was listening to the kickoff with True Geordie and Adam McCullough, whatever, and they were discussing Harry Kane. And I think it was Rory was saying how, look at the consummate professional he is. He works so hard in training. He's always the first in and everything. And he's such a hard worker. And then and Adam McCullough was like, I'm sick of people always praising footballers for things they should be doing anyway. Why are they getting praised for things that that should be a given? And I understand that way of thinking, but at the end of the day, it's not a given with every player. Not and Ndombele is a prime example of that. Not every player has that mentality, and not every player has their own motivation within themselves. Players sometimes need motivation externally from other places, and that's why you should, when someone like Harry Kane comes along, you should praise him for having that kind of mentality, because it's not as easy to find as you think.
Yeah, look, I agree with that, but I'm sorry, someone with the mentality that Ndombele has shown at Tottenham so far should not be anywhere near the wages he's on.
Oh, definitely. We should never have given him 200.
It was a big mistake to give him those wages so early on in his Spurs career. We needed to give him some incentives. We basically haven't incentivized him, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you put him on 200 grand a week, there's no room to grow. And at such a young age, you need to be incentivized to move forward in your career, and we haven't done that, and we've done that as a mistake, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so, because I think we were so desperate to get him in. I think we were so desperate to make a statement signing after that Champions League final to kind of show the Premier League that despite getting in the Champions League, we still wanted to move forward. I'm not saying we made a mistake getting him in, because I think at the time we all wanted him, and I don't think getting him for 55 million I didn't have an issue with. But putting him on 200 grand a week level with Harry Kane when he's 22 years of age and he's had 2 good seasons in Liga, and he's had a few obviously standout performances in Champions League, but that kind of parity with Kane should be save for either a player who's consistently proven himself over the 3, 4, 5 years at the top level, or someone of that ilk to give him parity with Kane. Kind of tells him, like, you've made it already at 22 years of age. Like, you're already that player that we need you to be, where we're actually buying a player on potential, really, more than anything else, or what we hoped he could be. And you should never give a player the parity of a top earner just based on potential. That's a mistake, and that never doesn't sit right with me, that he's on that kind of money. He should be level with the likes of Lo Celso, however much he's on, and Højbjerg. Well, he's probably on more than Højbjerg for some reason. He should never be
on much more than
Højbjerg,
yeah.
He was on more than Son up until he signed his contract. However long ago that was. Laurie, I think he's on more than our captain. I think Lloris is on less than him.
Yeah, he is. Even players like Lucas Moura should be on more than him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
At the moment. Yeah, he should never have been coming straight away. That's the kind of wage you have to earn at a club.
Do you reckon it was down to, like, kind of, at that time in the year building up to that, or maybe it was just a few months before that, Pochettino kept saying, like, oh, we need to be a big club, we need to be acting like a big club, talking about the big wages and the big transfer fees, and suddenly we break our transfer record. We kind of equal our wage structure with him, putting him right at the top. That same summer we signed Ryan Sessegnon as well for 30 million, which is obviously overpaying at what we're seeing right now. And obviously that big transfer for Giovanni Lo Celso in the same summer.
Yeah.
So maybe, Levy took that, or the board took what Pochettino was saying and kind of like utilised it in the wrong way, kind of thing.
Maybe. I don't think the signings necessarily were a mistake at the time. I think potentially with the Ndombele situation, what it seems to me anyway, is there was probably competition for him. We know that there was a very well documented Man City before they signed. Who did they sign that summer? They signed some. They signed some that summer. Rodri. Before they signed Rodri, apparently he was their second choice if that deal didn't go through. So I think, and obviously they probably would have put him on a similar wage to what we gave him. So, or maybe less. But the only way we could have got him is if we made sure that his wage packet was more than maybe the competition. So maybe that's why we paid more for him. And I think that's what we've been calling for. So I can't criticise Levy so much for pushing the boat out to make sure you got the player through the door.
But you need to do it in the right way, don't you?
Yeah, you got to do that. Maybe it was the wrong player to do it with, and maybe it was just a bit of a lack of foresight. But I think it was because there was competition for him. That's why, let's be honest. If we'd lost out on Ndombele because we didn't, at the time anyway, because we didn't want to pay a bit more on wages, we would have gone mad probably.
Yeah, of course we would have. But the club need to have a bit more foresight. They need to look at, we spoke to a Leon channel at the time, and they spoke about his mentality issues with us, and they was so it was quite evident at the time from people within Leon knowing that he has mentality issues, and the club need to know that. And I think if Daniel Levy and Pochettino knew he had mentality issues, they are not putting him on 200 grand a week. No chance.
Yeah, maybe it was just a case of they thinking they could solve those issues. It wouldn't be a problem, because Pochettino at the time was very much known for bringing in improving players. Look what he'd done with basically Moussa Dembele when he came in.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, but like specifically Ndombele's. He was pretty much tasked with replacing Moussa Dembele. That was his main function for coming into the team. That was the big thing. Him was going to be Moussa Dembele's replacement. So I think Dembele, in a similar way, was kind of seen as a bit of a maverick. Not maybe the same as Ndombele, but before Pochettino came in, he was very inconsistent. Moussa Dembele, he didn't quite get to the level he got. And maybe we thought if he could do with Ndombele what he did with Moussa Dembele, he'd be worth paying that money in, and we could even maybe get him in a higher level performance. But obviously Pochettino left very early on in Ndombele's career, then Mourinho came in, and everything's taken a different path. But
he wanted to leave under Pochettino as well, though.
He said after his first training session he wanted to leave because of how hard he had to work.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's what he said. But I just hope that we can, at least for this season. I'm not even getting too excited about the future. I'm just concentrating just on this season. I'm hoping we can get, if the issues get behind him, even if he has just this good season and he gets a move, if at least Spurs get a bit of a profit on him, then we can at least reinvest that money and maybe get someone who's more suited to what Nuno wants.
I think whatever we're saying about Tanguy Ndombele and about his mentality, about anything like that, every time he's on that football pitch, I get excited.
Yeah.
Every time.
When he gets on the ball, he just makes you
yeah,
stand up.
He's just unbelievable player. And I really hope he can get back to his best this season or pretty soon, because we need him.
Yeah,
we need him.
He's done things on the full pitch I've just never seen anyone do.
Yeah.
It's some of the things he does is absolutely incredible in the centre back. Like, he just does things where he does it so quickly, and you literally have to look at super slow-mo to see how the hell he actually just did what he did and how impressive it is. And that's what he's got to bring to the team. And if he can do that, and if we can get the best out of him, then I think maybe our team is a lot stronger than people anticipate.
Yeah, I agree. And, I don't know if you've seen, it's been going around for a while now, this compilation of Ndombele from the last couple of seasons from us doing the rounds on Twitter. I promise you, every time it comes up on my timeline, I watch the full thing because it is just unbelievable. The guy's quality is just second to none. It really is, and I really hope he can show it for us this season, because it will bring us up a notch. It really will. But that is about Tanguy Ndombele ready to fight his place.